Hello my beautiful friend and welcome back to another daily video. So, Famitsu has published its estimated physical game software and hardware sales data for Japan for the latest week, and if you don't know them, they're usually pretty spot on with their numbers. So let's dive in. We have a lot to talk about. So the weekly software and hardware sales for Pokemon Legends ZA is doing well. Both versions, so Switch 1 and 2, sold a combined 1.48 million units, thank you for the math, taking the top spot. A Switch 2 bundled version was also released and console sales exceeded 200,000 units. Obviously really good for Nintendo and Game Freak, but let's just see what the numbers are going to be in the near future, because we know right now in the UK it has sold less than 40% less than Legends Arceus, which obviously is a hit. So we have down here first place, of course, for the Switch 1, Pokemon Legends ZA, with about 872,555 copies. On second place, damn, what's wrong with me today? I'm sorry. Switch 2 Pokemon Legends ZA, the Switch 2 edition, with about, let's just say 613,000 copies. And then Mario Kart World and Ghost of Yotei is now at 18,930 copies. That also went down, obviously, because their people are, well, fed up with things. This is from last week. I just wanted to show you then again. This was the second week of Ghost of Yotei, 26,776 copies, which obviously from the 120,000-ish or so they had before went down. So, in comparison, Pokemon Legends ZA to Legends Arceus. This is by Gematsu because they are also taking the numbers directly from Famitsu. As you can see, February 2022. This is the week after Arceus has been released. And it was obviously again on the number one spot with 1,424,000 copies sold. Physical. Also really important. Also really interesting that Pokemon Brilliant and Diamond Shining Pearl sold about 15,000 copies. Huh, interesting. Oh, wait, do we have another Pokemon game that's been doing well now? Wait, fifth place, Mario, of course, Donkey Kong still up there with about 10k copies sold. Battlefield, oh, Battlefield, nice. Switch, Little Nightmares, Minecraft, Demon Slayer. Okay, there is no other Pokemon game up there, this is kind of surprising here to me that Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl were basically on the top three. Huh, interesting. But yeah, what happened the week after that one? Because it still sold about 360k copies. The other interesting part here is, this is from last year's investor report, and we have the proportion of digital sales. It's about 50%, almost 50-50. So 50% physical copies sold, 50% digital copies sold. The issue right now is, this is going to be really interesting to see next year with the investors report. What happens with all the digital mumbo jumbo that is happening now with the Switch 2? Because if you've bought the bundle of Pokemon Legends ZA, then you just got a download code. Is this now a physical one? Because will they count it to the physical copy sold because you bought a console? Or is this going to be a digital one? Me personally, I think it's going to be, yeah, they will count it as a digital copy because that would just make sense. Otherwise, they would lie. And yeah, how how will this skew the numbers? This is going to be really interesting. So right now we can say they sold about 3 million copies. This is a really, really rough estimate, and this is just for Japan. Again, really, really important. I believe this number could have been higher because there are way more Switch ones out there, even with the OLED version. There are way more consoles for the Switch out there. Many people, sadly, are now fed up because we have stuff like this. Oh wait, I should also activate the sounds. Not that it makes so much difference here. I mean, this is one of the intro sequences of Legends Zar. Yeah. We already talked about this a couple of days ago, and this is really weird, isn't it? It is. It is really, really weird to look at. On the other hand, we have competition now. We also, yes, we have this one here where beat'em ups is showing a lot of the areas in the game, and it looks bad. The immersion is just not there. This should have been a big adventure. Pokemon games are adventure. Don't you know? Back in the day, when I was a wee little kid, Pokemon was amazing. You just went out into the world and went hunt for Pokemon and do all the gyms and whatever. This is all gone now. First of all, there is no strategy anymore to catch Pokemon. You just hit them until they're unconscious, basically. I can do that with Frying Pan. And, oh yeah, you cannot enter buildings, by the way. I can hit a Pokemon with a Frying Pan and then catch it. That's basically the same thing. Back in the day, you had to really, really be careful not to kill them, basically. Because then they are just gone. You can't get them anymore. Now they're just standing there and waiting. Pokeballs were a consumable. Now you have guys around that collect fallen Pokeballs and give them back to you, which is incredibly stupid. There are no bad guys anymore because there are so many issues right now. And then we have the direct comparison with Digimon, and the sales numbers for Digimon sadly are just not there because it's not here. Or it's just one of those games that is a digital only version? I don't know. Wait, let me just look this up. Is there a digital version, physical version? Digimon, what was it? Time Stranger. Physical. Is there one? Let's just see. Physical releases include... Yeah, okay, there is a physical release for that one. That is good to know. But then you saw the cutscene of Pokemon Legends Zar. And on the other side, we have this Digimon. Digimon, also back in the day, again, when I was a wee little lad, was also amazing. And we have this. Just look at this. This is a night and day comparison. Also, hot characters. In Pokemon, you don't have this. There is no incentive to look at the characters, basically. Also, the characters you can choose from, they all look the same. They are just mirrored and, yeah, a little bit change of the skin color. And then also, again, here, just look at this.
What? What in the world is going on?
Voice acting! What a novel concept! Choice of what you can answer to them. And again, you can play a hot character. You have choices, which is incredible. I just love this. Again, look at this. What a novel concept. Wow. And then it feels really, really weird to say. We are in an age where we regularly complain about video game companies spending way too much money on their games, so they make a loss or they are just barely above to making profit and so on. And the budgets are overblown. This is a Western problem as well, by the way. With movies, we have actors that get paid millions just to appear for a couple of moments. We have actors that get a humongous amount of money. As much as I don't want to shit talk The Rock right now, but he got a lot of money for his roles. That amount of money is what Japanese movie creators spent on their whole movie, including actors, including VFX, including everything. And this is in Western media just one actor. You can see the problem here. We have such a huge gap of things with money issues and so on. And don't get me started with Sweet Baby Inc. They try to rebrand their website and everything, but still we know that they are bullshit and that they worsen the games that we play. Also, the Gina Davis Institute does the same thing, just as they found Muslim women in games, and that everything has to play a role in the game. And with play a role, I mean in a modernized Western American worldview. Because you have to push your beliefs onto everyone else. Doesn't it, Karen? And why is this so important? Why do I talk about the Sweet Baby Inc. and Gina Davis Institute right now? Because we have something similar happening to Pokemon right now. The next Pokemon game will have the same things. I already talked about it in my last Pokemon video. I will link it in the description box down below. Also, you saw the numbers, but I will also at least put the Famitsu article, the very first one I showed you. So this one here with the first appearance of Pokemon Legends in the description box down below. Otherwise, it would just be too much in the description box. And the rest, I believe you are capable enough of Googling it yourself. Because I think you're smart. There is no lie behind that. You are capable. I just want to make it a little bit easier to find the main page where you can look for the numbers. So there is a little less friction to look it up. But again, the numbers look good. They're better than Legends Arceus. But I don't trust the numbers going up much more. Let's just wait and see what happens next week. Again, Arceus sold, what was it? Let me just look it up again. Another 60,000 copies in the second week. Let's just wait and see. I'm really, really interested how this will develop. But yeah, the next Pokemon game, again, we already know that there's going to be gender wars and so on, which is going to be ridiculous. And oh my god, I just don't want it anymore. There is just too much. They're infiltrating Pokemon. But yeah, again, I totally diverged. I'm really sorry. We talk about publishers, developers spending too much money on their video games. With Pokemon, it feels really, really weird that we have to talk about they are spending not enough. They are going to make money back. They have trillions. Literally. They have so much money, but the game doesn't reflect that. And it's not Game Freak's fault. We know that they are making a game right now that looks incredible. It is Beast of Reanimation or whatever the name of the game is. Game Freak Reanimation. reanimation or whatever. Let me just show you what it looks like. Beast of Reanimation. But we know that it is not their fault. Just look at this game. This is Game Freak. These are the Pokemon devs. So there it is. It is totally a Nintendo and Pokemon Company's fault. Just look at this and tell me that Game Freak cannot develop this right now. And this is just a hypothesis of mine. Let me just mute this. I'm really sorry. I don't want to get copyright struck right in the middle of the video here. The thing is, again, my hypothesis right now is they have two teams. The first one is probably devs that are not as experienced that develop the Pokemon games, because Pokemon Legends ZA has a very big issue with the engineering. And engineering is the biggest part of the code, or rather the development time. The whole map is loaded into the game, which is incredibly ridiculous. So it is constantly filling up the RAM of your system. This is the reason why they have PNGs, JPEGs, call it whatever you want, everywhere. And people are just popping in and out in the background, sometimes even in the foreground of the game, and everything just looks bland. This is also one of the reasons why you don't have Pokemon riding. There is no bicycle, there are no inline skates or whatever form of transportation, because the map is just so small that the map would just feel way smaller. It is so funny to me. And then we have probably the experienced devs that work on Beast of Reincarnation. But again, this is just my hypothesis. This is my tinfoil hat theory, and I don't even have a tinfoil hat. Maybe I should do one, but then I have to buy tinfoil, and I don't want that. But yeah, really interesting, the numbers. Again, I'm interested in next week. We're going to do a cover video next week. And yeah, please leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section down below. I'm keen to know what you have to say. And while you're here, please remember to do all the things that make the dings. Why? Because that way we can build a bigger community and talk more video game news every day. And by that, I of course mean like and subscribe. And if you want, you can share this video with your friends. And please turn off YouTube's restricted mode. Otherwise, have a great day, my friend. Stay fantastic, stay hydrated. And I will see you either later with Assassin's Creed 1 in the stream, or tomorrow with the next video. Bye, bye, bye.